The Santa Fe Depot in downtown San Diego is 95 years old. Not as old as some of the other depots in the county, but it is beautiful and charming. The depot will play a key role in putting San Diego on the map during the California-Panama Exposition. Millions of visitors and passengers have set foot in the historic depot. The historic Santa Fe Depot was built in the Spanish colonial revival style in 1915 to support the Panama-California Exposition in Balboa Park. The depot's most recognizable exterior features are the two towers, covered in part in Spanish tile. Some of the best architects in the country were chosen for the project.
Yeah, the architects of the Santa Fe Depot were actually very well-known architects out of San Francisco called Bakewell and Brown. They did a lot of very significant buildings. This is the only one I know about in San Diego, but they did the San Francisco City Hall and Opera House, and they did the Pasadena City Hall, and they also did the Coit Tower in San Francisco, the one on Nob Hill that everybody's very familiar with.
San Diego architect David Marshall's firm worked on the Santa Fe Depot's restoration a few years ago. David tells me the Santa Fe Depot would replace a smaller but beautiful depot built in the 1880s.
The first depot that was served downtown, Newtown, downtown San Diego, was built in 1887, and it was a Victorian, almost Gothic style. It was a very, very pretty building, but it was very small as well. And so when they knew that the expo would bring so many visitors, they knew it had to be a lot bigger. And they hired these big shot architects out of San Francisco to design it for them. And there's a great photograph that shows, I call it the out with the old, in with the new photo, because it shows the original depot tower being pulled over. I think they tied it to a cable to a train and pulled it over. And in the background is the new station ready to open.
Unfortunately, the Victorian-style depot would be demolished 20 years after it was first built. This photo from the San Diego Historical Society shows the Victorian train depot before it was torn down. You can see that it is much smaller in scale than the current Santa Fe Depot.
The original depot building was very small. Again, it was completed in 1887. It was kind of this Victorian Gothic look. It was just a simple rectangle. It had a lot of flourishes on it, a lot of what we call gingerbread, and it had a central tower on it with a clock. And that was, I would say, you could probably fit 2 or 3 of those inside the waiting area here. It was very small. It was also on the other side of the track.
While the current depot is 95 years old, it is in very good condition and it has been exceptionally preserved. At one point, there were wooden kiosks along the east and west walls where passengers could purchase tickets and other items.
You look up, it has the high volume, it has the original stained beams, and the chandeliers with the Santa Fe logo are still intact. The flooring, tile flooring, is all still original, very well worn, but original flooring. And then of course, behind me here, you can see this beautiful wall tile, this tile wainscot that they have here, which is this custom-made tile, textured tile, very, very bright colors, you know, in the Spanish revival style.
The benches have been here since 1915. So have the beautiful large arch windows and the custom-made decorative Spanish tile throughout the depot.
Yeah, this is all original tile, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's the first thing people notice when they come here, and it's something that you don't see anywhere else. This is a custom design that was used for here, and it was actually manufactured in San Diego County. A company called California China Products Company in National City did this tile, and you can see it's not only very colorful, but it has these raised surfaces between the colors, and so it has a texture as well, and it really shimmers. And you can see, I mean, this is, what, 90 plus years old, and look at the condition it's in.
But some things have changed. There was a Fred Harvey lunchroom where the current ticket window is today. The lunchrooms were once at all the train depots across the country. As we go outside, there are items that are still present from 1915.
This is called an arcade. First 3 letters are, you know, like arch. It's based on a series of arches. If it was made out of columns, it would be a colonnade. But it's a very traditional Spanish and mission style feature, and it repeats throughout the entire building, and it's really the most recognizable feature.
And of course, this is the area that faces the train and where all the passengers get off and
yeah,
get on the train.
Yeah, it's the area where people could wait. They're still protected from the hot sun or the, if we ever get a rainy day here, the rain. So it's really kind of an indoor-outdoor space that transitions between the enclosed interior.
And we talked about the brick. This looks like it's original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually it is. A lot of this brick is original. You can kind of see the wear and tear on it and where it transitions between the old and new brick.
Towards the front of the building, facing Broadway, the exterior has remained the same, but other areas have not. There was once a court area for passengers that is now gone.
The only real difference here is if you turn around, you see where the forecourt used to be.
Okay.
Right now there's
a modern?
Yeah, there's a plaza that came in here about a dozen years ago. And, you know, at least it's for pedestrians. It was a parking lot right after they tore it down in the 50s, so at least they got the cars out of here now. But there was that great forecourt that really created that space and used to connect to the streetcar line right on Broadway. Of course, that's all gone now, but there's little clues that it used to be there, including you can see the little triangular marks on the stucco near the towers where the old building or the demolished building used to meet the main building.
The next time you visit the Santa Fe Depot, know that much of the building is original from 1915. At least 95 years of history to enjoy.